What it do? It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We got another episode for y'all, and it's looking real dim out here for the Sony strategy and the Empire PlayStation altogether. Now, you can think what you want and you can say how you feel, but the realities is saying that there's a lot of cracks in the pavement when it comes to Sony activity when it considers PlayStation. There's too much shifting. There's too much paddywhacking. There's too much straddling in the fences. I mean, Sony, I don't know if they even care to learn their lesson. But once again, they're using their fan base as test subjects. Salute the 30 below. Salute the Taylor Parker from France. Smitty Smith, let's go. Xbox League. Xbox League, the X League in the building. Yes, sir. Welcome to the X League of Extraordinaires. Thank you, Smitty Smith, the legend of the Book of X, who gave me the second edition copy of it. I want to say y'all could have been anywhere in the world today. Y'all decided to come out here with us today on Di-RRec Gaming, and for that, we're forever grateful. We are the legendary king show of the Xbox fan language. We speak the language fluently, and we are the voice of the streets. I know what they want to be heard, and I know what they want to be said. And it's our job to deliver that. Because on Di-RRec Gaming, we only come to do one thing. We only have one job to do. And that's to, what? What? Somebody said something. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. I was going to say that. Yo, we came here to do one thing and one thing only. That's to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us gaming. I go by the name of the New Legal. I got Spar 117. I got Resident Gamer Zero. And I got the Xbox brand in the building today. We're going to discuss just the kind of things that we think is not looking too good. I see a lot of cover-ups. What up, CBH? For God in the building. I see you, man. I want to say, we're going to get this stuff going, man. It's Saturday. How y'all feeling out there? First of all, how y'all feeling, man? How's everybody feeling today?
Feeling amazing. We got new projects ahead. Having a great time this weekend. We're just chill. How are you doing? How are you doing, Illegal? How's everybody else doing?
I'm doing good, man. I beat Resident Evil Rec Room, and I'm playing High on Life 2. And Resident that beat
High on Life 2.
He beat High on Life 2. So he's one up on me right now. I'm trying to catch up to.
That's a fun game, man. High on Life 2.
It's
good. I like that. That little pistol that talks to you every time he starts spitting out his little
the one that spits out his babies?
Yeah, man. He's sitting there. His little
duplicates. Homie. Yeah, little crony. What you been playing, Xbox brand?
Been switching up between Skyrim and Assassin's Creed Origins, trying to plink both those out and all of their achievements, working them down.
That's it, y'all. Hey, we about to buckle up. Y'all buckle up. It's going down upon the crown. Let's get to it.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
My man Taylor Parker, all the way from France, just dropped a blessing right now on Di-RRec Gaming, man. It's so bright, I have to change my shades.
Thank you, Taylor. Props to Taylor.
Shout outs to Taylor, man. I had to change my shades, Rez, for that one. Yo, he said, God bless you, bro.
Gotta
Keep
wear the
doing what you
appropriate
do.
days.
Yes, sir. We're gonna keep it just like that. It ain't got too bright. We're gonna keep it up there, man, because we appreciate international love, man. And so far right now, man, you dropped it in on us, man. We're gonna show a little respect. Shouts to Taylor Parker, man. Thank you. Yo, Sony's PlayStation empire is crumbling, y'all. It's a cover up. It's a lot of shifting going on. It's an earthquake, right? But if y'all really pay attention to what's going on, right? You have the media, the gaming media out here. Not everyone. Not everyone. Right now, Tom Warren is holding it down. He's out here holding it down, you know. Chaz Corden right now is holding it down. Right now, those two, they're doing a real good job keeping things positive out here right now with Xbox information. And I look at it like there was a shift. It's important for them to make sure they don't slip up. Keep that same energy moving, because the warning is this Xbox is going to impact. No matter how anybody thinks and feels, the Xbox that's about to come out very soon is going to shake up the landscape of what you remember console gaming was all about. It's not only going to redefine it, but it's going to define what gaming is to gamers all across the world. Anytime that you are able to take the second largest gaming platform, which is PC, and you're able to incorporate it in your company, in which, to me, Microsoft dropped that ball. They could have been Steam long time ago. Because let's be real. The president of Steam used to work for Microsoft. Old Big Gabe used to work for Microsoft. Microsoft could have been Steam and Xbox. But you know, Windows is just too powerful. When you have something like Windows, I don't blame Microsoft for focusing on something that was so precious as air at a time, meaning everybody needed Windows. It's one of those once in a lifetime achievements, accomplishments of invented solutions for the whole world. You know, I mean, this thing blew up 1995. Everything must have Windows in it. It's crazy when you think about it. But to humble yourself as a trillionaire, right? Quadruple trillionaire. I think Microsoft is like literally right under Apple, right? For the worth total of the company. When you think about the humbleness that's taking place, the collaboration that's taking place with Epic, Microsoft isn't making any small moves. We're talking, they have Call of Duty, they're gonna gain Steam, and then they have they got the most powerful game on the planet, which is Minecraft. I mean, we never would have thought Mario would have ever had a competitor as big as Minecraft. Minecraft is the most popular platform game in the world, while Mario still retains the most popular mascot. But nobody would have ever thought in our lifetime we would have saw that happen. But you look at what Minecraft the movies did compared to what Mario did in the movies, it's unbelievable. Not only do they have that, you bring over Epic, who has the most popular live service game in the world by engagement. Fortnite holding at a total of empire of 650 million people who have touched the game. That's more than PC gamers all together in the world. That's more. When you look at that, and you see how everybody is forming, then you got Ubisoft. We don't just have Ubisoft Plus. We got the Premier Edition. We have the Super Duper Deluxe Edition version where we get everything. We get everything. We don't just get the laid back games, you know, just the games that they want to throw out. We get the day ones if we want. And for the premium, we get that. You don't get the premium anywhere else. All that is possible on Xbox. Then it gets even more worse. You can get GeForce Now on your Xbox. On top of that, Xbox has a plethora of your account apps on certain TVs. You look at, they're going with Samsung and LG right now, and I think they're about to get with isn't it Westinghouse? Or is it I believe so. I believe so, right? Right, Spartan, the TV you have. They're coming over to the TV that you got. So you're looking at 3 TVs now acquiring the Xbox app. The first 2 are 1 and 2 in the world. Everything that you see Microsoft doing, they're doing big. Their partnerships are huge. They're stabilizing their ground. Then they come out with Project Helix the other day. You see momentum just going and going and going and going. It doesn't stop. Despite you hating, Microsoft doesn't care, because I'm telling y'all right now, it's their time. I tried to warn you. I told you, listen, a hardware only structure had its day. Shout outs to Sony in the music business with the Walkmans. Shout out to Apple with the iPads and the earpieces and the iPhones. Shout outs to Sony. I mean, not Sony, but Samsung with their Galaxies and building up Android, helping to build up Android. Look at Android now. Pound for pounding with Apple out here with their phones, not making as much, not as worth much, but they have a more user base simply because they're more open. But look at what Apple can do with a closed platform. You see all these companies engaging, and let's don't forget about Apple introducing the indie game. They're having their own exclusive gaming section on their phone only, and doing very well with it. In the mobile sector, we still are waiting for Microsoft to bring forth the mobile empire, the Candy Crushes. Look at that. It's crazy. Don't forget the Overwatches. Don't forget the Diablos. You're not, for when you look at Xbox, the hate is just humorous. You can hate it, but it's in vain. It does no good. It's ineffective because Microsoft has the real empire. Nobody takes Nintendo serious. We're going to talk about that right now. I told y'all when the Switch 2 came out, don't come to me with the Switch 2. I told Games Heroes and I told Resident Gamer, who are my best friends and avid Nintendo fans. They are. They're Nintendo veterans. I told them both, don't come to me with it. It's not going to work this generation. Nintendo, good job last generation. You did well. You understood bringing your most powerful movement was mobility. You made it into that handheld, and you didn't forget your console gamers. Flawless victory. I gave you the crown for that because Nintendo's influence was so great. You're seeing it now with everybody else. Look how everybody else just followed Nintendo. Here's where I'm trying to come with y'all at. It's easy to follow Nintendo. It's easy to follow Sony. It's not easy following Microsoft because Big Bank takes Little Bank every single day. Sony cannot do what Microsoft does. Nintendo can't do what Microsoft does. So what you see, Nintendo struggling now, crying now, about to get ready to sue the United States government because the tariffs have torn it to pieces. The cry is this, and this is no lie. We don't know how much longer we can go before this era of a console breaks apart, shatters. I told y'all to stop telling me that nothing can happen to Nintendo. I told y'all to stop telling me, oh, well, their games are going to sell. People are going to buy it. And what did I say, Resident Gamer? What did I say this generation? I said everybody's going to get mad when they find out that everybody's not going to buy that Switch 2. What up, Spotty King? And that will be the downfall. Then got to December, and we saw the numbers started to go down. We saw lack of video games. Everybody has a position in their company. Yes, things happen. You have to be prepared for it. Big bank takes little bank. So when the tariffs started coming, Microsoft made an adjustment, right? Oh, because we cooking today. Don't worry, we cooking today. Microsoft made the adjustment, right? Everybody came out dogging Microsoft for what? The increases of Game Pass. But those who were smart understood what was happening and addressed the matter. Well, look, it's good for Microsoft to go ahead and get it on out the way because we know for sure the prices of the industry will go up. So if this is Microsoft's way of going ahead and putting the price up in the service to keep their prices down and any other little interruptions that may happen to them in China, remember, then this is a good call. Go ahead and get it on out the way. The media, the fake Xbox fans, who we already knew were PlayStation haters, they attack social media with all their lies. I'm unsubscribing. I'm unsubscribing to Game Pass. It's $10. It's $10 more. I can't afford that. Illegal. That's too much money. $30 for a subscription is too much money. Okay. All right, cool. That ain't for me. Cool. $30 is killing you a month. Cool. But I've already been an avid Xbox Game Pass subscriber. So I'm grandfathered in. Plus, I'm stacked. Real Xbox fans stack Game Pass. We don't do month to month. So you expose yourself. All right, so we get past that. Everybody kept crying for a couple of days, weeks go by. Then Microsoft reports come out and they noticed that Game Pass subscriptions didn't falter nowhere, didn't do anything. Yeah, because like I said, the Xbox fans stacked their Game Passes. That's why I didn't go anywhere. We're stacked up. So I never believed that anyway. Now we're gonna get past that. And we're rolling. Everybody still want to hate on Xbox, right? We look over there across the fence, and we seeing Sony shaking with this PC strategy. Because the word on the street is next gen, Xbox be able to play their games on PC. Not only that, but Xbox is going to leap a whole level of technology next generation. Not only that, Xbox is going to be the high-end premier premium experience on console. High-end premium experience. So you tend to get people to get worried a little bit. We're in the first quarter of this year and you got people getting worried. So you saw PlayStation slowly start pulling their games away from not want to day and date, but they haven't day and dated anything. Don't let these foolish people that edit in these articles fool you. Sony's only done one day and date game, and that's Helldivers 2. That's it. It showed Sony that if you put your day and date games on PC, they will sell. And if you don't, they won't sell. Because the PC community is not going to play the leftover game. They're not going to do that. What ended up happening to Sony is this, y'all. The pressure to go multi-platform, in which they will have to. I told y'all, they're going to do it. The only way to get around that, Sony, as you know, is to make a successful live service game, in which, Sony, you have not been able to do yet. So there's a problem. That's problem number one for Sony. That's in the bag. I've been told y'all that. I've been told y'all to get prepared for that. That's been an L coming. Nobody plays the PlayStation games. They don't know nothing about multiplayer live service games, competitive shooting games, any of that. They have to play Call of Duty. They're going to play Fortnite, which is other platforms. But if Sony makes a game, it's not going to make it because they don't have the proper engineering teams to do it. That's why they hired Bungie. The thing is, people, the iconic Bungie team that you knew back in the past is not them. That's problem number 2. We like to talk about Xbox not having an identity. That's true. No real Xbox fan is going to argue that. But guess what I'm about to say? PlayStation doesn't have an identity either. The differences between the two is Xbox has understood now that there's a crisis and they're about to change it. And they're going to change it easily. You know why? Because they have a duffel bag to do that with. They're making that change now. They're dropping names. They're pulling out the cars. Boom, meet us at GDC. Xbox don't look scared out here to me. But the other two do. You got PlayStation right now. What are you doing? You're about to go to court this year because you shafted your own gamers in the UK, in the European region. You shafted them. You charged them overpricing. You basically did what you're doing now in secret. In secret. You dynamic priced the European region. Now, for those that don't understand dynamic pricing, I'm going to break it down to you. This is how you know something is wrong. Truly made. I would argue about the Xbox identity. Okay. But truly made. It lost its identity. They didn't put console first and expand. They put expansion first and console name last. It caused a confusion. It's easy to correct. But when you look at what just happened, right? What they're going to court for, and you see people in the same household noticing 2 different prices off of 2 different accounts for the same game. Now, when I put this report up yesterday around 5:40, I wasn't thinking that this was already happening, people. I put the post up thinking, wow, they're going to start really doing this. Look at that. They already came out first and said they were going to raise the prices up. Now, when you look at dynamic pricing, why would dynamic pricing change? 2 things. Either there's no demand, because nobody's going to change a price when there's demand. When there's demand, you just keep the price there. There's either no demand or slow demand. The PlayStation fan base cannot get out of this. We know, Jago 6, that they don't buy games. To people, what you're witnessing, and I'm going to let my panel speak, but what you're hearing is judgment has come upon Sony as a franchise. Judgment has come upon PlayStation as their gaming brand. Judgment is here for them. Marathon is going to flop. Wolverine is not strong enough to get them out of this year. Sony knows that. That's why, and they're scared of GTA. Still scared. They moved it up. So when you get done playing your exclusive game, guess what you're going to go back doing again? You're going back to being a third-party gamer. That's what you are. We've been saying it for years that PlayStation fans are not exclusive gamers. There's a very, very small percentage of y'all, just like Little Bank, PlayStation. You match that. Xbox identity will come back full circle. No pun intended. Facts. That's going to be an easy change. Poetic Justice, I can't wait for the next gen. And still Sony making more revenue, selling more hardware. What you guys ignoring is Sony is not Microsoft. Their hardware is, the hardware is their everything. But what you need to understand, Poetic Justice, is this. You missed my other show the other day. You missed 3 shows back. That none of y'all knew nothing about. It's not about quality when it comes to these consoles. And Sony will tell you that. It comes to the time you put on them. Nobody wants to talk about that because it's not a talking point for Sony. This is what I learned being in the gaming streets. If you're talking about something where you can't find a W for Sony, then it ain't worth talking about. Then what you're talking about is not impactful. And that is the biggest L in the gaming streets when it comes to this whole shabackle, right? Because for some reason, y'all eyes stay open when it is an advantage point for PlayStation. Everybody's eyes are open when it's that. And I understand because that's cushion in the pillow game. I get that. But see, the new legal is not here for that. I'm the silent assassin. I put the silencer on. I shoot through them sack pillows. I don't partake in that fear game. I take all the hope out. I take all the air out the room. And so you'll stay away from me because you don't want to hear what I got to say. And that's my joy. That's where I get my gratification from. Knowing that Xbox has an 83% landslide victory over PlayStation at 17% when it comes to the console operating system market. That means when that damn console gets turned on, Xbox fans are playing their games, they're in their apps, they're in their storefronts, they're all over in that console, operating it. Money is being generated through that. Yes, Sony could be making more revenue than Microsoft, but revenue don't mean they're making more profit than Microsoft. It's the profit that matters to these companies. You can put more stuff out in the world all you want to. That's revenue. I can throw all that stuff out that I want to. But I'm not going to be the one to ignore when the FTC showed everybody that PlayStation is last in profit. And to me, that's the least popular thing out here, right? Because all we're going to talk about in these gaming streets is where Sony has a victory topic at. But here's the problem with that. The exclusives are not a victory lap target to talk about anymore. This owning a PlayStation for popularity contest doesn't mount up to nothing anymore. They backed out of E3. They don't have no strong state of play shows. Their state of play show is a third-party showcase. They don't go to Gamescom. They have no street appearance at all. They have no ground level at all. All that's gone.
They've pulled back more and more in every show. Yep.
They shut down all their stores worldwide to generate so that money will make the revenue money look outstanding. It's all about perception. But I see them clearly. So the new legal's gonna come out here and speak on it. I see Sony clearly. You don't do dynamic pricing when your item is strong. Even Nintendo's not doing that. Nintendo was smart enough to never drop their sale under $5. They've been on that tip since the 80s, since the late 80s. You can go to GameStop. Yeah, you can catch a Nintendo game on sale for $5 off. And that's much as all you're going to get off of it. Nintendo has mastered the little bank strategy. Microsoft, on the other hand, makes so much money. They make so much money. Okay, you don't buy my product. I'm still making money. Okay, we sell 30 million of these things. Well, everybody's laughing on 30 million, but it's a maximized 30. You're talking about 92 million consoles sold to stores with about 71 at home or 67 million to the customer because Jim Ryan flooded the market with 30 million consoles. That number ain't changed drastically. If anything, it's 25 million out there. We know you're not buying it because the console's behind the PlayStation 4. Then you're not buying the video games. So you're not buying the video games. Okay, the 5-year strategy that Sony was going to do for PC hasn't worked. It didn't strengthen the brand. We know this for a fact. I'm not lying. Your own reporters are telling you that. Your so-called Spider-Man? Nah, not on PC. Well, a little bit on PC. God of War, dead on PC. For Aloy, dead on PC. Nathan Drake, dead on PC. Those one and done games, you're not going to get the PC community to play those games 3 years later because you're trying to keep the PlayStation brand strong. But I thought the PlayStation brand was strong. Why are you nervous about keeping your brand strong if you're strong? See, the new legal pays attention. It makes no sense. If I have something that's strong, then why am I trying to keep it strong? Put it like this. Rez, if you have an infrastructure, right, that is strong, then you don't have to make repairs to it. It's strong. If I see Resident Gamer putting up an infrastructure and every month I see him having to fix that infrastructure, Resident Gamer, what does that tell me about your infrastructure? It's not strong. Who's PlayStation fooling out here? Not Di-RRec Gaming. So we speak on it. We're not here to tell you what not to buy, but we're not doing the bullshit game. Nah, we ain't here to do that. I'm not giving you an umbrella when it's raining on your head. You got to weather that storm, and y'all aren't weathering the storm. Secure King, what's up? I'm in these streets like Starfield. Facts, famo. Facts. You know I love you, fam. Thank you for showing up. G4, you already know, baby. We here. Yo, you got to weather the storm. And there's only one way to weather the storm. That's ante up in your wallets. We know you're not going to do that. Jago said the new legal, it's in what Sony does, not what they say. Facts. They make themselves look, look weak by doing the opposite of what they say. Exactly. Exactly, famo. And I'm telling, Jago, we're telling the PlayStation fans what to do. Buy your games, turn your PlayStation on more, and interact more. Look, let me give you a strong stance. Microsoft took the movies off of their Xboxes. You know why? Because we ain't watching movies when we turn our Xboxes on. We're playing video games. They saw, damn, having all these movie rentals and all that ain't really making no money. They ain't buying them. Took them off. Yeah, the Xbox brand might have lost its identity, but the Xbox brand is strong. It has never been weak. It's always been number 2 in the whole entire gaming market. And if you think I can't prove that, somebody on here tell me to prove it on Twitter and I'll prove that easily. I'll even go as far as to say the Xbox One, with all of its scrutiny, came in number 2 in the whole entire gaming market. Xbox falls in between Nintendo and PlayStation every single time. We just got the report, right? In the United States, all PlayStations, all of them, even your mighty PlayStation 2, has only outsold the Xbox by 2.5 million. Y'all been bamboozled by the gaming media. That's your fault. And see, how long do you think something's going to last? If you think everything here lasts forever, you lied to yourself. How long did you think those narratives were going to last? They were only going to last as long as y'all did what y'all were supposed to do. That's how long the narratives will last. But I told the Xbox community, buckle up, put your stuff, put your ride on, put this bad boy on cruise, right? By setting your sails like we used to do on Sea of Thieves, set our sails and just sit and just watch the ocean. Watch this PlayStation brand slowly go down. Watch it. Because we know all these people out here doing all of this for the PlayStation community. It's just a few of them that back their words up. About 88% of them don't even play those games. We know. We got their receipts. We just don't get that toxic out here in these streets. We're going to let them continue to lie to you. That's what we're doing. We're going to let them continue to lie to you and then watch them cry when they fail you. I don't want to miss those who I haven't seen as much. I want to read something out because we're slow cooking today. This is my man, Rim, 13 Rim. Xbox is strong, no doubt. It's so strong that the market leader is afraid of it to the point where they're pulling back from PC to try to hamper Xbox. Facts. They know, they see it, and they're afraid. Exactly.
Well, one of the things that people have to realize is that back in the day, yes, Microsoft was in a bad position. They didn't have control of all the studios that they have now. Now they have close to 40 studios. They can kick out games and they don't have to have any of the games that come out from PlayStation. They don't need to feed their family with those games. They now have enough studios to give their players what they're asking for, which is games, innovative games. They have more games in development than Sony even has for a 10-year cycle, folks. They are building gaming media. That's what they're doing. You want to call it AI slop, you want to call it a cheap AA game, but you know what it is? It's gaming. That's what we have. That's what Xbox is building. That's why when Phil Spencer pushed for to be able to have Bethesda, to be able to have Activision, guess what? We got them. And guess what? We now have a gaming empire. We can build the best games, the biggest games, because we have the biggest piggy bank. Now, you may not like it. I don't really care. It's not my problem. Microsoft has the money. Microsoft has the ability to do what no one else has been able to do. They can control where eyes are on games. People are playing the Microsoft games. They aren't going and playing all those Sony games. If they were, you'd see all the markets would be flooded with PlayStation games would be the top of the chart. But they're not. They don't even rank very high. Go on their own media from the whatever those charts that come up all the time from the monthlies. Where are their games in the top 10? They're not there because they're not popular. Now, Wolverine will come out and it'll be popular for maybe a month. But then after that, look where it falls again. It'll be below 10. It's just like Ghost of Tsushima, right? Ghost of Yotai. All those games drop below the what? The 10 marker. They're lucky if they even hit a 25 marker. Those games are not popular. They don't build retention. And that is what gaming is all about. Used to be, back in the day, everyone would talk about these great games that were being built and that people were playing it. And that, man, hey, I got to go and play that game. Well, guess what? Sony ain't building those games no more. All they're doing is trying to straggle and hold their empire with what they have. That's why they're basically living off that 30% from everybody else. That's the only reason that they even made profit was because of all of these other game makers who have games through them and they get that 30%. That's the only reason. It has nothing to do with them being a great bankroll from all their games they have on their market. That's not what's making the money. Look at their revenue draw. Where are they pulling in their money? Every bit of it is coming from all of these other games that are selling on their system, right? You got Kingdom Come Deliverance Part 2, all these other games. They get 30% of all those games. That's what's keeping them cooking. Not because they have great games, but because other people have great games and they put them on that console.
Man, Xbox brand, man, you sound like me, man. I like you, man.
I think people get disenfranchised with the idea that because Sony has sold so many consoles, that suddenly it's just the most popular brand. It has nothing to do with that. It has the fact that it has access to a lot of games, and mostly what people are playing today are free to play games. Look at Fortnite, always top of the charts, right? Always going to be there. If they even ranked Roblox would be the number one. They roughly have 260 million players a day. A day, folks. And that's a free-to-play game. And with Xbox going into a market where they're going to be able to play PC games and all of the and every Xbox game, that's going to be an absolute monster of a console. Is it going to cost? We told you guys this. Who was lying about it? People are making it out as if $1,200 is somehow some new confounded idea. Are you crazy? We told you that it was going to be between $1,000 and $1,500. Between that area that's where it's going to range. If they go below that, I'm telling you, folks, that thing's going to sell like steam cakes.
Yo, B, the
He's gonna
wrong Xbox Ally X told him it was going to be $1,000. Keep going.
But the cost is not anything different than what we've been preaching. You've heard it from DIRREC. You've heard it from all the guys in this pan. We've not backed down from saying that, hey, we're going to be buying that console. Why? Because we want it. Because we want to expand what we're already playing. And the ability to be able to have even more games, more access, buying it on all the other areas. If you want GOG games, you want Epic Store, you want Steam games, I'm telling you, we will have it all. And we don't have to have any of those Sony games. You're lucky if you get one Sony game a year. I mean, come on, guys. Where's your back? Why are you not backing up your brand? Why are you not sitting down saying, you know what? They're right. We've got this brand new PlayStation game. Marathon should be hitting 100 million people. 100 million easy people playing. Have bought in that game. But we haven't even talked about that. Dude, they said right now that Steam, maybe, if you're lucky, has sold 360,000 units. Come on, guys. They're only ranking right now on Steam. I think 58,000 was, I think their top was like 86,000. This is a daily.
Yeah, that was launch day.
Yeah.
And this is not PlayStation where if you download it, you can't get a refund. This is Steam. If you don't like it and you play a couple games in it and you say this is trash, I'm gonna get rid of it, you can get a refund. But the reason why I say, man, I like what you're talking about is because all this stuff, man, we've been saying for years, and then like legal.
Did something happen to his mic?
You can't hear me? Or you? Man, it's you. Somebody tell him it's him.
I can
it's
hear
always
you,
him.
You're good, man. I can hear you.
Yeah, but
Okay, I didn't know if you stopped. Okay, yeah, no. Anybody else want to chime in on him? Go ahead.
Hey, okay.
Oh, I can't hear Willis.
Okay, good.
His mic messed up.
Ain't nobody mic messed up. It's always him.
Y'all probably can hear him, but I can't. I see him talking. What's up, King?
Everybody can hear.
What's up, Famo?
But man, this is
it's got to be legal, man. It's got to be him.
This is gonna be very frustrating if we have to do a show like it did with
I'm here
the other day.
Can't hear.
He can hear anything Games was saying, but everybody else hears Games.
Can't hear you.
Crystal clear.
It ain't gonna come through.
Well,
tell
really.
So look, I got
tell him to back out. Come back in.
Relay messages. That's not gonna work either. All right, I'll try again.
It's not showing. It's not going to show up on the show. He's cooking, but it ain't gonna show up on the show. He's got to back out, come in.
Well, that was
His
weird
connect.
because I heard him clear. I mean, I could
Yeah,
hear him.
but you won't hear him on the show when it's done.
Well,
Yeah, he's got to
I
come
got
through. Yeah,
you.
that's right. They can hear
Because it's
him
on
and
your
everything, but when the show is done, you won't be able to hear him. That's right.
Oh, because it's coming through. Yeah, it's coming through your system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully it's working for him. Hopefully
Okay.
picks up for
See
him.
if it's working for him.
It's not gonna work for legal.
There we go. All right, talk.
You're golden now, man.
Yes,
I was
sir.
golden before. It's legal. Look.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot what I was talking about. Really. No, it's a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff we've been saying is like, it's why like legal is like, man, we gotta go on, man. We've been saying this and we're getting validated. Because my thing with legal this whole time since I've been doing the show with him, it's like, bro, you are for the most part everything you say. I would say for legal, it's like 95% accuracy. We fanboys, and sometimes we say some dumb stuff out of fandom, and that's why I give them the 5%. And offline, I'd be like, legal man, you got to bulletproof some stuff, man.
Same to you. Same with you, bro.
Yeah. And I said, they're gonna eat it up, man. You gotta stop. Don't say that, man. I don't care, man. Like, all right, bro. But he, and a lot of things he knows that, hey, it is what it is. But we've been calling this stuff out. I know I've been eating PlayStation, this whole marketplace thing for years.
And real quick, Realist, I want to validate you. Realist, when he said, even when Realist says I've been saying this for years, but Realist been saying this for years in my comment section. I didn't even know. He's been on DIRREC Gaming in my comment sections, and I didn't even know him. I had to go back and look at how long he's been on the channel. And so when I started paying attention to him, that's when I asked him, man, you want to come on? Because he was talking a lot of stuff in my comment section. I was like, dude, just come on in and get a mic and talk, man. So I just wanted to tell them about how I met you and your origins, and you always been a supporter on this channel, man. I want to say how far you done come, bro.
Oh, hey, but the funny thing is, time flies. I'm not even talking about when I was in your comment section. I've been doing this with you for going on 4 years, bro. Right. This is the third year. Because when we did Thanksgiving, I was like, my daughter was like, man, that was a long time ago. I said, man, it don't seem like it, but it was.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just talking about just on the show, because what I said in the comment section don't matter. And that goes into what I was about to say. A lot of the stuff that we say, we don't have the largest audience. So it's like nobody's really hearing it. And when we go out to like on a social media, it's like, oh, these dudes are idiots. But now we're being validated. You brought up the storefront, brand. So it's like,
what up, future generation?
There's a perception with PlayStation, because they sell so many consoles, because they have the consciousness of the common gamer. They're Kleenex in gaming right now. Because when I was a kid,
shout out Sekiro.
When I was a kid, Nintendo was Kleenex. My grandma called everything a Nintendo. I was playing an Xbox and she told me to get that Nintendo off her TV. So it's like, that's PlayStation. But the problem with the way they and Xbox has done it, but the difference between PlayStation and Xbox is Xbox can make third party, first party. They've done it with Minecraft, they've done it with Activision Blizzard, they've done it with Bethesda, they've done it with the other 7 studios that they bought. So when push comes to shove, they can go out and buy. The difference in Microsoft and Sony is they're going to spend the same money, because hell, they spent more money for Bungie than Microsoft did Mojang. Right? Those are the difference in the moves. Microsoft's moving in a way to get things done. PlayStation is reactionary. Everything they do is reactionary. Xbox went to PC. Well, they are PC, but they were kind of abandoning PC just like all the other publishers when the piracy was rampant. Here comes PlayStation to PC. Xbox says, you know what? We're going to take over PC. This is ours. Why? Yeah, Steam is there. We messed up. PlayStation, like, okay, now we can't just leave our games there, because they're more concerned about perception. But I talked about this a little bit the other day. People are starting to understand when I explain it, because I guess I didn't explain it well enough. Xbox is constricting PlayStation to where they cannot release their games They have to grow. And if they are afraid to put their games on any other platforms, how are they going to grow their fan base? Because like Brand said, they're selling all the third-party games, the most popular third-party games. PlayStation fans say, oh, they get 30%. This is not like Steam. You don't see, there's not going to be 500,000 people playing Slay the Spire on PlayStation 6. Or what is it, PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4? You go look on Steam, the PC gamer is a different demographic. The way they buy, their purchasing habits, the Xbox gamer is different. The purchasing habits, the games we play. The PlayStation gamer, you can go, like I talk to my neighbor, I always bring him up because it shocked me. This dude said, man, you need to get rid of that Xbox, come get on the PlayStation because it's better. I said, man, what you playing? He said, come on over here. I'm gonna show you what I've been playing, man. This dude showed me Elden Ring and Destiny 2. And I was like, bro, I can play that on my. I said, I can play that.
Killing me when he do this, bro.
I said I can play that on my Xbox, but that's the mindset of the PlayStation gamer, the common PlayStation gamer, your cousin, they're not playing God of War. I'm in GameStop. The guy says, I want to trade this in. His girlfriend bought him a Series S. I said, man, ask this cat why you gonna trade in his Xbox. I said, you gonna trade in your Xbox? What you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna get a PlayStation. I said, why you gonna get a PlayStation? So I'm just used to it. I said, so the Xbox not playing any of the games you normally play on PlayStation? He was like, so it's just, I'm just used to it, the PlayStation, man. I said, okay, that's cool, man. I said, what you play, man? He was like, oh man, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption and Madden. And I'm like, I said, man, you play that on Xbox? I said, you play MLB The Show? He was like, nah. I said, what about? I said, hey, you had to play that new God of War, right? He was like, huh?
Whoa.
It's true.
And by then I look at the GameStop guy, because I went in there to buy some used headphones. That was when I was stuck in Mississippi and I didn't bring headphones with me. So I went over there to get some of those used headphones. They had some of the cloud ones, the Cloud X. Those things $30, man. Them things $99 retail. So I was like, man, let me get these, man. I got them for 19 because I was a member at the time. So anyway, this dude said he didn't know what God of War was. I said, man, since you love PlayStation so much, man, why don't you try some of the games that are only on PlayStation? He was like, what you mean? I was like, man, they got a game, I said, Days Gone. I said, man, they got Last of Us. I said, what you know about those? He said, nah, man, I don't play none of that. I said, man, if you like Red Dead Redemption, man, it's Red Dead Redemption. I said, it's an open world game. They got open world games over there, man. Because I mean, honestly, man, I try the Xbox, man. You got the Game Pass that you can try a bunch of games. At that time, it was like $15. He's like, yeah. He said, man, I really don't play nothing, man, but Madden and my cousin, I play 2K. I said, Call of Duty. He said, yeah, I get Call of Duty too. I said, all right, man. I said, man, it's nice talking to you, man. It's nice talking to some nerd out with gamers, man. He was like, all right, man, bro. But that's the common mindset of these gamers out here. So when you have these guys and they're out here and they're talking about how great PlayStation is doing, they're gonna look at the revenue. And I know Brand, Resident, y'all gonna start talking about profit. I saw on YouTube what's that dude's name? Brad Sam's video this morning. Some dude said Nintendo is dominating gaming and they don't use it and they don't have exclusives. Like, what part of gaming is Nintendo dominating? It's like these people are just creating their own narratives and the fans are running with it. Nintendo dominates their platform as they should, but they can't sell third party. You got people out there saying that Resident Evil sold X amount on PlayStation, X amount on PC, and then Nintendo sold 1 million. I was like, bro, that don't even equal 5 million. I was like, the only number we have to go off of is 5 million. But y'all want Nintendo to be more than what it is so bad and make Xbox bad. They don't understand. None of these small players are gonna ever be able to wipe Xbox off the face of the earth.
Say it one more time. Hold on. Say it again for the people in the back, right? Really?
None of these smaller companies are ever going to be able to wipe Xbox off the face of the earth.
And not just that, some of these smaller gamers, these small pocket wallet-sized gamers, you'll never be able to wipe Xbox off the map. It takes a big penny to do that. Y'all don't carry a big penny to do that. So therefore, Xbox still here. Look, if Xbox was so weak, How can it last 25 years after the fact when Sony had a 5-year beginning ahead of it and Sony hasn't been able to take Xbox out yet?
But legal is look, PlayStation is PlayStation. Give them props. They kind of did not to the effect of what Nintendo did back in the 80s. They kind of resurrected gaming. Because when you think about it, Nintendo was dying at that time. They pretty much pulled all of the third-party developers away from Nintendo. So Nintendo was limping, right? Sega was on its way out. Then here comes PlayStation, lying on Sega, pulling people away from Nintendo, right? Later on with Dreamcast, Sega finished it off, right? So they came in at gaming's low point. So I'll give them credit for carrying that, right? But when they put Nintendo in the kitty corner, they didn't expect Nintendo to come out better. So when you look at Nintendo now, they are heavily reliant on their first party because they had no choice. Xbox and PlayStation were the ones sitting around fighting and combating over third party exclusivity. Who can get Splinter Cell, Grand Theft Auto? Who could do that? That was Nintendo couldn't afford it. They weren't going to even try. And then next thing you know, Game Boy, what is it, DS back then, start flying off the shelves, and then we got the Switch, and the rest is history. But PlayStation has never been what they said it was. Why is their revenue so high and their profit so low? You know, why is it that they say that they want to get their profits up to 27%, and when Xbox say they want to get to 30, it's a problem? I mean, the way the money is looking, you got $3 trillion company, $120 billion company, 30 times larger. Don't you think they want to make money?
And you know what, real is, you talked about them holding gaming down. I'll even go as far as say that was half truth. I'll say they even did a good job holding movies down as well.
I don't care about movies right now, but yeah,
Eh,
sure.
eh, eh, eh.
I like honestly, I don't follow game movies. Like one day y'all were in a space, and I realized I don't follow movies like y'all. I just watch them.
PlayStation 2
I
is the
know the
greatest DVD
studios.
player of all time.
Yeah, and then the greatest Blu-ray player.
Yup,
So
facts.
but it still didn't win that generation.
And guess
You know,
what? Realist? Sony didn't even promote the PlayStation 2 as a gaming system anymore. They promoted it as a Blu-ray system. They put the Spider-Man logo on it and everything. They did everything for as far as the movies go.
but
Greatest movie, greatest Blu-ray player of all time, PlayStation 2 salute.
one day you let me just talk about that, right, for like 30 minutes straight, about a year and a half ago. But that's the reason why they have the gamers that they have, because most of them are not there to play video games. They came there for other reasons, and now they're just super casual. But like you said, they'll never approach 100. Okay, it's just like right now. PlayStation fans want to claim 100 million console units, and now Sony wants to claim 160 since Nintendo's claiming 150. The higher the number is, the worse you look, right? When we say gaming isn't growing, and PlayStation has never approached 150, now they never approached 160, never even got close,
Right.
right? And if they say, oh, we got 100 million units shipped, you got 100 million units shipped, you're not dominating on sales, you're not dominating on profit. Like, what is it for?
Facts. It's
What is it for?
perception.
What is it for? And so, going back to where we started, man, look, PlayStation has done a good job of being Apple of gaming. Because when you look at like you legal, like you'll come tell me about some new feature you got on your phone. I'm like, bro, we've been doing that for like 7 years already. Watch out, man. Like this year, y'all getting folding phones over there. I'm like, bro, watch out, man. I'm on Fold 7 over here.
That's
This
true.
that's the PlayStation.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like next generation, they might get quick resume, and they're gonna act like it's the best thing ever, and then their users, since they don't know enough about Xbox, are gonna
That's
fall
true.
in line with it.
Yep.
But man,
That's true.
but going back, and I just wanted to say this: I end up going around. But Brand, I said it like this: Xbox is about to put PlayStation in a position where they're gonna be like Steam. They pretty much are Steam, they're just a storefront, and they release a few games here and there. You look at Steam, people been crying about a Half-Life for 15 years. They got Alex, we got Alex, I got Alex. The best VR game still to this day, in my opinion. They just Deadlock not even out yet. So pretty much it's Dota, CS:GO, and soon a Deadlock game will be there. Look at PlayStation. We're gonna be a storefront. but we're gonna give our gamers one game per year. And it's like, what is it? Once upon a time in Mexico or Desperado, he said, I'm gonna piss all over his bar, I'm gonna piss all over this, I'm gonna piss all over this. He said, not only he said, not only will they say you'll be happy. This is PlayStation fans. They're getting pissed all over and they're
That's
not
right.
complaining. They're not
Well,
angry,
they're
And I
they
not
want to
happy.
bounce
complaining,
off
but
that
They're
realist
not
in
complaining one because here's the thing. Realist, Brand, Spawn 117, Resident Gamer Zero, Mighty Chat Pack, they do everything out of blind faith. They don't even know, Brand. That's the
no. The
sad
the thing
part.
is, man, they don't. The whole thing is they're not even aware. It's
They're
like Realist
right.
was saying. They're not even aware of some of
Aware.
these first party games. So they're not even aware of it because they're playing free to play games. But yet they're paying Sony to be able to be online to play these games. And we're coming into a
Yep.
point where there's the possibility. And again, I don't know if it's true or not, or whether they're just going to keep Game Pass as the you know as a premium payment. I don't know, but if they drop the cost ratio to play free to play games, that is going to be absolutely crazy. You can do that right now. You don't have to play for Game Pass Ultimate or nothing just to play Fortnite. And there's
Nope.
many other games that
Oh,
do that
man.
as well. So the point is if they drop that tag, Xbox is just going to become that much more popular. But
That's
people
it.
don't even know about these first party games. So why would we even? It's not even a conversation anymore. All they know is they're just playing constant games that are ones that are notable, like your Maddens, your FIFAs, and games like that are always going to be on the top of the charts. People are into sports. Well, those are the games that sell, and they're multi-platform, and that'll never change. And that's just going to be how PlayStation 6 will roll. And
And
they'll,
Sony sees that. That's why they're producing less first party. That's why they're going the live
Exactly.
service route.
There you
Is
go.
yeah,
because
they're
they
getting
know
that
that is
30%.
sustainable revenue.
That's what's keeping them alive. That's their revenue draw. It's not where Xbox has all these live service games and that's their live service draw. Where PlayStation's getting their money is from the third parties. Everyone's having to cook that, getting that little 30% money, so that off that $10 game or whatever, and you still make $3 off it. That's
So
still
so so
money
Brian,
You
for
what
know
them to be
happens
able to get.
what happens if PlayStation see that email I always bring up from Epic where PlayStation was telling them pay us $50,000 plus per user that engages with the what is it when you get crossplay, right? Epic was like whatever, that's all you want, whatever. But I made the point that that people don't understand. PlayStation understands what live service is doing. The games never end, and it leaves no room for their games. Since then, I've been what is it called when you say validated, right? By people like what's the guy's name who comes out with the numbers? Um,
Matt Piscatella.
Piscatella,
Yeah, Mike.
right? When he came out and he was talking about how people are not buying games, right?
Only one
Us
or two a
us
year at the
yeah,
most. Yep.
right. That's the common person. The rest of them are in these live service games. They're playing them on their phones, their tablets,
You said
computers,
the
whatever
hardcore
they
are
can.
basically what carrying the industry right now. The
That's
hardcore
us.
gamers. Yep.
That's us, right? When PlayStation says we're going to monetize our current users, they're only going to be
It's
able to do
funny you
that with the
bring that up.
hardcore.
I'm gonna add something to that when you're done. But go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I've been saying that the gaming industry is top heavy. We keep talking like the gaming industry is just rocking and rolling as a whole. No, it's not. It's
You
the
said
it's
top heavy, brother.
it's
That's
the
your quote.
live service games that are making all the money, and then everybody else is trying to fight for some type of position.
Position.
But
That's it.
when
Yep.
you look at PlayStation and Microsoft knows, but Microsoft can go buy some of these, right? PlayStation knows that if I allow, okay, what does crossplay do?
What's up, Talos?
Crossplay elongates the
Hello,
amount
three.
of years. What up, Talos? And shout out to everybody else in the chat. But like
Yes, sir.
crossplay broadens the player pool and makes these games last longer, right? So if I'm allowing your game to last longer, where do I fit in? How is this helping me? How no, I'm making your game stronger on other platforms and my game still don't get to eat. This is what PlayStation's up against. This is why they can't leave PC. They're gonna have a launcher. They might get away from Steam because they don't want Steam to control, because once you give it to Steam, Steam is just gonna let the community have it. You see what happened with Helldivers when they wanted refunds and PlayStation reneged on what they said they were gonna do. What's the name of that? Arrowhead said, "Don't do this." They came out.
Yep.
Arrowhead asked them not to do it. Sony did it anyway, right? Next thing you know, Steam said, "Hey, all you who bought it, get a refund if you want to."
Facts.
This is what PlayStation wouldn't allow. This is what PlayStation doesn't like. But PlayStation has to understand, if they don't want to work through Steam, they don't want to work through Epic, and you come out with your own launcher, the word is gonna get out. They gotta understand that the
Yep.
PC community is discriminate. Even Xbox, they tried Xbox Live. EA with their online codes, all that stuff gets thrown back because these dudes have too many games to play, or us dudes, right? We got too many games to play.
We're the ones that are cooking with games. I played last year. Now, I'm not saying I played all of them to completion, but I played 182 games. I had my hands on 182 different games. Now, that tells me that I have the availability to play different games. Now, I did buy 5 to 6 games last year. Okay, so I'm buying more games than the average gamer on those.
You're
Then
not
they
the
average
average
3
gamer, though,
games.
dude. You on a
Right.
podcast and you on Twitter. You're not the average gamer.
Well, that's true.
Yep. And
So
you
we're
bought
not
6
talking
games?
about us.
Yeah, you bought 6 games. You bought more than the average 3 gamers. You know,
Look, we're gamers, as I said the last time that I was on the panel, and we are the ones that it's like Mike had said. It's really the core gamers, and really, mostly it's the Xbox users. They buy more games than the average gamer. They are the ones helping to rocket the gaming world forward. We spend more money than the average PlayStation player, and they could easily dominate the market if their players only wanted to play their
exactly.
games. They
Exactly.
talk about these exclusives all the time. Then why aren't those exclusives even crossing 6%? They're not.
I don't
Can't
even
tell,
think they
until they
understand
do it.
Xbox brand right now, Realist and the panel and chat pack. They don't get it. It's almost like, I mean, unless you're an indie game, right? If you get 1, 2 to the 3, a 3% out of an indie game is phenomenal. That's out of an indie game if you can do something like that, right? What Expedition 33 was able to do, that's every 15 years, if not that, that's
But that didn't
unheard of
even
stuff.
that only sold 5 million at last
That's what,
number.
there you go. That's
But
right. And,
the beauty
and
of it was that
what's up?
Expedition devs came out and said that it was because of being on Game Pass
That's true.
that they were able to show more players and
Man,
more
Mhm.
Microsoft
gamers.
paid them to say that.
Well,
It wouldn't matter. It's the
it's the
right thing to
simple
say.
fact
I'm
that's
just
Yeah.
what they've done. That's
Yeah,
why
it
more
would have
that's
been
what
the
they're
gamers
right
gonna
use
thing to
say.
Game
say.
Pass.
Yeah.
Game Pass
But
is a good
it's
thing for everybody, man.
yeah, when you look at a big title game, right? 300 million. I remember, I remember the panel. I remember us, man. We used to, we tell them, times are gonna change. The average AAA game is running anywhere between 175 to 250. I said, but y'all gotta understand, times are changing. It's gonna get up to 250, 250 to
300.
350. Right,
Shoot,
remember, right. Remember we
we
said that?
talking about 1.5 to 2 billion for Grand Theft Auto.
There you go. And I said, now, if y'all are sitting up here with a straight face gonna tell me that Sony ain't gonna struggle with the future, man, put your face in your toilet and flush it. Nobody's that stupid out here to believe. And
Dude,
then guess
GTA
what?
6 is
No,
the
for
only
real.
reason they're going to be surviving
Right.
this
And then,
year.
no, for real. And then it took like it takes years, because it's like Sony knows they're gonna eventually have to tell the truth on this stuff, right? But we just sit back because we know it's gotta happen. We sit back. Then the report, how do we know? When that report for Helldivers 2 came out and we found out Spider-Man 2, they put $300 million into that game. and made a $15 million profit off that bad boy. What I mean, I'm talking about between the two, it got just 15 million over. Now when you talk about 15 million, that can't even get a full that's all that's gonna do is get a team started. That can't generate no IP.
Not
That's
for their
just
big IP.
that's
No.
hiring fees. Right. That's hiring fees.
But that's why they can't leave PC.
Right. Now look what
That's why they
Helldivers
can't
2 is
leave
doing.
PC. They just got to try to play around. They let Jason Schreier do their dirty work because they're not going to come out and address nothing publicly.
Right. Now look what Helldivers 2 is doing for them. Is continual money, right? And going back to what Rilla said, you got now you'll have the donkeys come out here and say, yeah, but look at Helldivers 2 is making money. But yeah, we was doing that on Xbox for 20 years. You get what I'm saying? That Xbox money been rotating like that for over 20 some years. You just now getting a little bit, and Helldivers 2 is only getting them. It's not getting them big money, but it's giving them good money. It's not big, but it's good money, right? So when Hashida came out and said, you know, and Helldivers 2 hadn't even been out a year. It hadn't even been out. I think it was still in the month cycles. And it said Helldivers 2 made more money for PlayStation than Spider-Man 2. They spent they didn't spend
Yep,
nowhere
it's been the
near
most
as much
successful on
Helldivers 2
PC.
that they did on Spider-Man 2.
But this
And
is
that's
that's the problem, though, Legal. They can't get their own IP to pop like that.
they can't.
No,
No.
You know what
they
I'm saying? Like
can't.
Spider-Man, the mouse is taking a cut, Steam is taking a cut. Like that's not theirs. And
They
so
keep telling them they're going to monetize them. They're going to
Oh,
monetize them
Marvel's taking
more.
a cut. There you
well,
go.
Marvel is the mouse, man.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
The mouse,
Now is this
Yeah, we
yes,
somebody
can hear you,
speaking,
man.
Rez? I mean,
yes.
really?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
can't
I
hear
hear.
him? Okay. I can't
Yeah,
hear him.
he said they
I
keep
can't
saying that
hear
they're
him
gonna
either.
he keeps saying they're gonna monetize their gamers. That's what I was just
Yeah,
saying. Like
and I'm going to go off
nobody
that real
plays.
quick. You know, what's funny too is
Yeah, I don't
what's
know.
her
I don't
name?
know. Rez is in a
Linda
bad
Tao
area.
or
Let it,
Lisa Tao?
Yeah, he's in a bad area. But y'all can
let
hear
him
him to
One of
keep
the
going.
let him go. I'll let you know when he stopped.
Yeah.
the
Well,
Because
the
CFO.
thing
I'm
is,
telling you,
it won't
I
come up
listened
on
to the
the show
podcast
afterwards.
last time when you couldn't hear Game
Hey,
Heroes.
Rez, can you not hear Rez? Go ahead and speak, Rez. That way we can hear if Legal can hear you. Because if he
I
can't,
can hear him.
So the CFO,
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Linda Tao,
So
I
you
think her name
said,
is.
Relis, when the show was over, you heard Games Heroes?
Right.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Let him cook.
Then
Let
okay,
him cook.
go ahead, then, brother.
If
Yeah.
anybody in the chat can't hear him when his avatar is bouncing, put it in the chat. But I listened to the last show and I can hear Game
Okay.
Heroes.
Okay. Well, we were
So
saying we couldn't. Gotcha.
there
All right.
are they're not getting back their ROI on all these titles. You could clearly see it, right? Yes, some of them are a little successful, more so than others. But if you got to think about it, those games are costing them double digit, triple digit, and millions of dollars, and they're putting their investments into timed exclusives. They're putting their investments into partnerships, like with Crunchyroll, for example. They're putting their money into their investments for their next console. They're putting
I hope
money
you're right.
into. They're putting their money into
I hope he's right.
live service games. They put their money into the
Okay,
Bungie
G.
acquisition, which has cost them like $6 billion. Or well, no, sorry, it was like $2-3 billion. But they're still paying that back, right? They haven't paid that full acquisition off yet, so they're in a lot of debt themselves. So the fact that they're not making enough on these games, they're going to start charging their customers more, right? They have to get that money back somehow, right? And what other way than to keep charging more your customers, right? And I try to tell the fanboys this all the time on Twitter that, you know, you're cheerleading for the bare minimum, and on top of that, you're cheering for a company that consistently takes advantage of you and even says they're going to take advantage of you, right? And now we just got a report on Twitter. There were some people reporting that Sony's looking at increasing pricing based on what region you're in. So depending on what region in the countries, different parts of Europe and Asia and other parts of the world, they're going to charge you more for the same thing. Now, you just think about that. Think about that, and then let's backtrack since the start of this generation, where Sony has increased their console prices twice, and they've increased their PS Plus twice already now. They're probably going to do it again, you know, because after they raise prices on the games, they're also going to raise the prices on the services too. And what are they giving you in return for it, right? You're getting very little ROA. You're not getting a lot of return on your investment into the platform. Like unless you play just third-party games, which I thought everybody bought a Sony console. Clearly that's wrong. Like there's a huge casual base where it's just about the brand moniker, right? The brand identity. It's not about what place plays the best, what place has the better features, what place plays the games better. That doesn't matter. All that matters is their comfort or their recognition of a brand, right? So Xbox, in a lot of ways, they're going to have to take it up a level because people are too comfortable with Nintendo and Sony. And I think with Nintendo, it's really hard to pull people from that platform because people love their games who are on Nintendo, like I myself included. And there's more third-party support than there was on the Switch for one generation, that people are not really going to jump ship. Like, and that's why Phil and Sarah, and not only that, now their focus too now is more so on social media platforms. So people are playing less games. They're spending more times on their phones. They're spending more time on their computer, going through all these different platforms. So they're getting their time taken away from even more things now than they did like back when we were growing up, right? Like back when we were growing up, there wasn't a lot of things that would distract you from video games, right? Like there was movies, right? There was TV, right? But that was kind of limited, right? Like once you watch the show, once you watch the movie, you're right back on the games. Well, now it's, okay, you're done with the movie? Okay, now there's TikTok. Okay, you're done with TikTok? Now there's Facebook. Oh, you're done with Facebook? There's Instagram. You're done with Instagram? Okay, now there's your computer, right? Like it's just, there's so many different avenues now for people's time to get taken away that, people aren't investing in gaming like they used to. And people nowadays, like especially kids growing up in these new generations, they play what all their friends play, right? And they play all the big commercial games, right? So they play the Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, and they're fine with that. They don't want to play any other games. Like they don't care to play any other games. So really it's becoming more and more like gaming is falling back on the hardcore gamers, right? The older generations like us, right? That are some of us are growing out of it and some of us are retiring or stopping, and so their reliable source of revenue is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking.
Hey, Resonant,
and
you said something about the TikToks out there, and you remember the conversation that was out there, and a lot of people made fun of Matt Booty because he was saying that we're competing with the TikToks of the world, and they're not wrong. That's where your media attention is being drawn towards. So you have to compete with the one thing that is going to take away the eyes. So if you're wanting people to play your games, then you've got to be able to attract them in some form or fashion, like you were saying. Because everyone's
it's about taking the attention, right? That's the highest priority. It's not about, of course, Microsoft wants to release quality games, right? They want to be the Netflix of gaming, right? They want everybody to come to their platform no matter what device they're on. I know, but this time now with Ash's direction, it's going to be more console centric, which is good because that's what the hardcore base really wants, right? So you can both cater to them and the casual base, right? Like why not do both? Like they should have done that to begin with. But that's the number one thing right here is you got to pull people's attention, right? And what better way to pull people's attention with more advertising, right? More marketing, right? And that's what Asha, I think Asha sees that because she's already started building a marketing team specifically for Xbox and to bring the brand back to full attention again, like it used to be in 360 days, right?
Hey,
which is a direction. I think they kind of shied away from. They didn't really, they had a marketing, like a smaller team, but they didn't really put their full backing behind it. I feel that they're doing now, or at least I hope they're doing now. And that's the thing that's why Sony's struggling, right? That's why even Nintendo, as you noticed, like the Switch 2 launch was huge, right? Yeah, we kind of knew that, right? All the hardcore were going to get it. like the big rush was going to be at launch, right? But the interesting is what happens after that, right? And what we've seen is they have even admitted this during their fiscal earnings call, that their revenue is down, like declined from North America specifically. People are starting to kind of wake up to Nintendo, right, and realizing that they're not as that great anymore, not compared to the competition, right? And what makes no sense to me is why they didn't make the hard. I know they've never been about, they've always said this, that they're not about the hardware, right? They're not about the power game. Like that's Sony and Microsoft. They try to stay away from that. They go off of their brand popularity, right? Their character popularity, and just kind of take the most advantage of it and kind of recycle it in a way, because they only focus on such a small handful of characters that you don't really see too much more from them. And when they do try to experiment outside of that box, people don't really cater. Like what was the Sushi Strikers? Like Sushi Strikers was a creative game that Nintendo took the risk on and try something different, right? Something new. But people didn't buy into it that much. They just wanted the core IP, and they've kind of deadlocked themselves into that, right? They've kind of put themselves into that corner, right? And I keep telling people that eventually, sooner or later, people are going to get tired of playing those characters, or they're going to want something different, right? Not the same, right? Not the same rehashed games. So hold on. So Nintendo's not even, I mean, they're not even doing that great either. I mean, they're doing okay, but I mean, compared to the Switch 1 generation, it's not a great start so far. And with Sony is, they really heavily relied on the Call of Duty revenue, right? You saw that, right? We saw that through the entire court battle and acquisition case between Microsoft and ABK. They desperately did not want Call of Duty on Microsoft platform. They wanted to have that 70% revenue capital as opposed to 30%, which is what they're getting now. And they needed that sustainable revenue, because Call of Duty makes money every year constantly. It never really dries up. You know what I mean? It's because of the microtransactions and everything in the game. It just kind of brings it as its consistent money bag that it can keep, like its ATM that it can keep taking money out, right? And when they lost it to Microsoft, that was a huge hit for them. And people just don't see that because they weren't paying attention, I guess, or didn't see the little details. But that's the reason why Jim Ryan fought so much for it. Now that they don't have it, now they're scattered. They're desperately struggling to find a hit like Call of Duty. So they literally made all of their studios. A lot of them, by the way, had no idea how to make a live service game. They never made a live service game before. They never made a multiplayer game before. They've always played single player story driven games. So made the game. So to have make their teams take that whole different shift wasn't going to work. Like, I don't see how Sony didn't see that. Maybe they thought that their studios were talented and creative enough that they could. But when you've been making the same type of game for almost decades, like years and years, it's hard to do something else, especially something you've never done before. And they struggled. I mean, some of the teams were making progress, like Naughty Dog's Factions, right? Like that was making progress. Obviously, it wasn't good enough because Sony decided to axe it anyway. But they're desperately trying to find a live service title that'll hit for them, so where they don't need to rely on the core fan base to buy the single player story titles, and they can still release them to kind of cater to them while they could still focus on finding their revenue stream, right? That's why they've been hiring a lot more multi-platform and different types of program managers and different roles for that, is because they're trying to expand into that space to try to find the best way to best way to get their revenue into a good position to where they're making better profit, because their profit margins are really low right now. Like, yes, they're making a lot of money, but they're spending a lot of it. So it's not really great for Sony right now, and especially they got that lawsuit too. They're just basically desperate. They're trying to capitalize on their customers more now because they've already exhausted a lot of their other avenues in terms of increasing their prices on. But I would be surprised if they kept doing it anyway on some of the other ones. I just wonder, when is it enough for some of these Sony fans? Like, how many more times do they have to keep driving their prices up before you realize they don't care about you as a customer? At least with Microsoft, they offer you value, right? They offer you Game Pass, they offer you rewards, different ways to pay, like for the games and services where you don't even have to pay money.
Right.
They let you play on your phone, so you don't even need to buy their Xbox. Like, they give you so many more options for your buck. Like, give me more bang for your buck.
You see it because you have Game Pass.
No, you said something, man, about Nintendo, right?
They don't see it
me and
because
because he was on the
legal.
What I was saying. I started, he finished it.
Raising
And
prices,
basically,
right?
like I was saying, and you remember this, Riz, when we first started, I said, look,
everyone's raised their prices.
the problem with
Legal,
Nintendo, I said it. I said the problem with the Switch 2
man, I gotta get out of this
that
game.
price.
That it is small
y'all
for them
keep telling me that it's
legal.
No matter what, right?
Legal.
I said that no matter what is in that price.
So
that's the no matter what. That's what's going to hurt it. As soon as I saw that 450,
are just still playing their
I knew that was game
and they're just paying that whatever
over.
That fee is.
Because now that big tech era
and that is
had
so
to put Nintendo in the ring. When Nintendo just wanted to fight around the ring.
Xbox is giving
it just wanted to fight around the ring. It never wanted to get in the ring.
Care.
But these computer chips, they're high tech now. You guys have all they can't go any lower. They gotta upgrade. They gotta do something.
I want to play my
that 450's there. Now that put Nintendo Switch right in that ring, and you have to. And then the problem is this:
play those.
Once you, it's like
everyone that I'm talking to at work, all of my associates, the people that work for me, every one of them is pretty much a PlayStation guy. And you know what they all play? Every single one. Madden.
Top 5. Yep.
They play Madden. They play the basketballs. They play all
2K. Yeah.
And that's all they play. They don't care.
And they don't care to play anything else. Yeah, exactly.
And you have to remember too that all the games that they had previously bought, they're still on their PlayStation. They don't want to give that up. When Phil said that we lost the generation that really mattered, which was the Xbox One, PS4, that's the one that we lost. If we had capitalized in there, it'd be a whole different world. Because you look at PlayStation now, 82.5% of their gamers buy digital. If we had won that generation, we would not be in the same problem as we are today, because we're getting value and you can still play your entire library. Well, people don't really want to play all these old crappy games. They want to buy all the games that they were interested in.
I'm sorry,
and so
Brand.
if they're on PlayStation,
Brand.
They still want to play those games.
Brand, can you hear me?
Lose any of that. So there's
Brand, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Legal.
Oh, is Legal? Are you talking?
Yeah, he's talking. You can't hear him, can you?
Oh,
what? I just want to let y'all know what happened was I just want to let y'all know Realist called me. I'm on mobile, right? So he called me, and it knocked me out. And then because he thought I couldn't hear you, but I could hear you. I could hear everybody. So that's what that was. He thought I couldn't.
Maybe you should switch to the ROG, fam. Next show, not the show.
I told you, man. But I'm doing. Right. It's all good. I'm doing it. It's all good. It's not even. It's not me. It's y'all.
Please tell me you're not surprised by the report that I just mentioned that they're raising prices in different regions. No surprise there, right? They even came out and said they were. Yep.
Yeah,
my whole thing is like, at what point, Famo, do these guys realize that, okay, I'm getting waxed, right? I'm getting screwed. Like, why am I paying so much for the same service I've had? You just raised the prices on it. Now you're raising prices again. At what point do people just say enough and like, all right, I'm going either to PC or to Xbox, because like, why keep investing in a platform that keeps ripping you off? I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, because I was trying to answer you before, and then I heard Brand going, I heard Legal going. I was like, oh shoot, man, we got a kerfuffle. So look, I was gonna answer you. You're never gonna hear the outcry that you're looking for, because the people that we need to complain will never complain.
Facts.
You got ponies on record saying that they'll spend $100 for games.
That's true.
So if you got weirdos with that type of mentality, PlayStation has already been on record saying that they remember they wanted to go to $90. right? Then they talked them down to 90. Then Take-Two, Activision, EA say, nah, 70 is good, right? And so all this time, 70's been good, but now you're hearing that Grand Theft Auto is going to be 100. And
Yeah.
guess who can't wait for that? PlayStation. Guess who needs to monetize their hardcore gamers more than anybody? PlayStation. The two
Yup.
Japanese companies are the worst, right? When it comes to bleeding their guys, right? You look at Xbox, they give you Game Pass, they give you everything that they can within reason to say, hey, we're a good platform. But
Yup.
they'll never complain because as long as I'm playing Fortnite, the only time I'm gonna complain is when the new Nicki Minaj skin is $30 instead of 20. I don't
Facts.
care if they I don't care if they charge $100 for God of War Frey or whatever they're
Facts.
gonna call it. I don't care. I don't care if they charge if for some great reason they decided they're gonna make Days Gone 2 and charge $100 for it so that they can make up for what they did last time. They're
Yup.
not gonna. Those guys are not ever going to complain because those guys are the guys that when they say monetize, those are the ones that they know that they can do it too. That's why you're not going to ever hear anybody complain. That's why they're happy on PlayStation. But that's why a lot of the things that Xbox does that is pro-consumer goes over everybody's heads because they're happy playing Fortnite wherever they are. And if it happens to be a PlayStation, then it's a PlayStation. So when Xbox is doing all these great things, giving you a service that has more games than you can handle, giving you discounts, giving you a rewards program that's unrivaled, none of that matters because the people who we're thinking that they're trying to appeal to, you can't reach them. You're not going to be able to reach them because they're playing Fortnite. They're not on Twitter tweeting. They're not on YouTube listening to Colin Moriarty or whoever the biggest Xbox podcast is. Probably used to be Dealer. They're not listening to them. They don't care about this stuff. They don't care about console sales. They just bought a PlayStation because their daddy had one or their cousin has one. They don't care. They don't care about the ergonomics of the controller. They don't even care about locking triggers and haptic feedback. They just have a PlayStation and it's about playing with their friends on the game that everybody's playing. And that's why they won't complain. They'll never complain because those people are happy. But the problem with gaming is we need them to be a little unhappy. We need them to start playing other games. This is what Game Pass came in. But the problem with that is the casuals could care less about Game Pass because they're occupied. I used to be one of them. I used to be that cat that would just Call of Duty, 2K, and call it a day. That was what I did for about 5 years when I first started playing video games again. Because those games never end. I would have like 15 years in franchise in Madden back in the day. Like I was playing with Deion Sanders' kids. Instead of cornerbacks, they turned out to be quarterbacks and safeties. I made like everybody was gone. I was playing with randomized characters that I had to rename to current NFL players. That's how long I was playing these franchises. And I was cool doing it. It wasn't until I played I think Destiny. They got me back onto Elder Scrolls Online. Then I started playing other games because Morrowind was the first game that I say made me a hardcore gamer where I was playing the hell out of it for 6 months in a row. Put a work year worth of hours into a video game. That's what we do as hardcore gamers. And if you play games that much, you're probably not going to want to spend that much time on one game. But if all I want to do is get off from work, just like my cousin, rest his soul, man, you need to get up off of that Xbox, man. Come over here where the real game is at. I'm like, what y'all doing? They get off work and play Call of Duty, Madden. It's like, bro, you ain't even playing. You ain't even playing. You ain't
Yup.
even really.
Yup.
That's the whole problem in a nutshell is that nobody is. I mean, the vast majority of gamers are not playing exclusives. I mean, it doesn't matter which platform you go to unless it's Sony
Facts.
or unless it's Nintendo. But Nintendo just has a fan base because the majority of their games are first party games. I mean,
Facts.
the people are on Pokemon and all those great games that they play. And I'm not dismissing them at all. I mean, I'm happy for them that they're happy. But the reality is the people are just not drawn to exclusive games. And we have got to get to a realization of, is it wiser to have all of those games go multi-plat? Or is it wiser to do, like some people are saying, have those private games, have those games exclusive to your brand, so that there is the hardcore like us who will stay with that community. Now, I'm never going from Xbox. I mean, the only way that I'm leaving is if they boot me out. But I don't think they're going to boot me out. So there's no reason for me to leave. Can you guys hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't see your voice. I'll have to
No, I'm just bringing
try to
Willis
log
back.
back in.
Willis jumped back out, so I'm just bringing him back in. But no, I
Bro,
was going to say about
I don't know
Nintendo,
when I
right?
got dropped, but I was
I was
running my
talking
mouth
about
and I
when
looked down at
Nintendo.
my phone. It was gone.
Oh, you good? Nah. But Nintendo, I was going to use that term that you use, Willis, that Nintendo was no longer a toy. You know, it got to a certain price where Nintendo's no longer a toy. You know, nobody was upset when it was $2.99. Nobody cared. $2.99. Sold like rats. Sold like rats in an old dirty warehouse. You know? Nobody cared. It $2.99 was nothing to shell out. But $4.50, we're right around 500. Nah, now it becomes a certified electronic device. No. It's no longer a toy. No. Hey, let me put a extension warranty on this thing. Let me, hey, be careful with that. Let's put some protection around that screen and all that other stuff. Because you're entered into that ring now with that PlayStation, that Xbox, that Series S, and that's and now you have to look at people and sell people the same type of items that you had prior to, and tell them that it's worth now paying almost $200 more. Look at the stuff that they were giving them, those 480p cameras and stuff and all this stuff. And all I did was laugh. I said, because, and let me put myself on screen. Just like I said, judgment has came for PlayStation, judgment has come for Nintendo now. See, big tech era's here now, and neither one of them have a foot in it. All they can do now is weather the storm. Hopefully Nintendo can hopefully United States government finds compassion on Nintendo USA. I mean, Nintendo fans, you need to be praying. I don't know who you need to be praying to, your Mario cartridges or whatever, because if the United States government say, man, screw you, now you will see that Nintendo wasn't as strong as you thought it was. And the new legal told you that, because we saw it in the history books with Nintendo.
Yeah,
We saw it.
if the United States
Now
decides
you're
they
going to
want to
have to
block
deal with
everybody,
PlayStation.
it's going to suck.
PlayStation's scrambling. PlayStation's trying to put the puzzle together, and there's no puzzle to put. The puzzle is the PlayStation fans, and you can't put them together because they're on those free-to-play third-party games. You can't get them off. You can't get the PlayStation 4 fans off the PlayStation 4. You can't get them to go to the PlayStation 5 because you lied to them and said generations matter, and you realize your games, they wasn't buying them, and you had to cross-gen those games. It's your fan base, like I've been saying. The problem with PlayStation right now is their fan base. And if they don't transform them wallets into the huge wallets, shit, man. You don't have to worry about perception for PlayStation when this new Xbox comes out. It's gonna be night and day. There's not gonna be any so-called parity anymore. Because every game that drops on Xbox is gonna be the best version. There won't be no look, what's gonna be funny? Digital Foundry is gonna be one-sided. You're not going to be running the Digital Foundry anymore because you're not going to like Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry is going to be letting you down because you can predict the next show. If it has anything to do with Xbox, damn, it's going to be the best version. You're going to be let down. They're all going to fail you. There's nothing you won't be able to find no refuge. Your favorite YouTuber, you're going to get tired of listening to them because all they're going to be doing is feeding you lies. then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna turn PlayStation into a flea market. PlayStation ain't gonna go anywhere. It'll be around, but it'll be your discount flea market store. You're down to one AAA game a year. You keep it up, you're gonna be down to 2 years. PlayStation will just become a landfill full of them those indie games that they flood PlayStation network with. All those indie games y'all don't play. And y'all brag about having more games on your platform. Yeah, because you got all of that you don't play. That's what you're gonna end up having. All your first party studios, where are they? Sucker Punch, that's it. Guerrilla Game, that's it. You don't have another first party studio game that made you a brand new IP this year. For this era. Not one. We're telling you what's gonna happen. Nobody scares us over here on Di-RRec Gaming. We come out here, we boldly tell you. Because we don't just listen to words here. We're researchers. We're forensic scientists. We get down into the scene. We look up stuff. If we don't know it, we're going to look it up. We're going to figure out what it means. We're going to come out here and we're going to address you with it. Because we know 99% of y'all don't even know what stuff means. We know this. Because the gaming media is moving y'all so dumb. It's almost, it's like you want to say nobody can be this dumb. But when you see people on social media say the most dumbest things with their whole heart intended, you have to admit to say, man, they just pure ignorant. And what y'all do is y'all go into y'all community boxes and y'all lie to each other out of ignorance. And y'all form these groups out of ignorance. And look, the problem is all these years of being in these groups and being lied to with ignorance. And then somebody finally comes out and cares about y'all and tells you the truth. At first it hurts. We know truth hurts at first, but nobody has died from a righteous truth sword swing. The righteous truth sword swing hasn't killed nobody. It go all the way to your soul and they ain't had one casualty yet. So we get it. You don't like the truth. It hurts you. You rather go where somebody's going to lie to you to make you feel better. We understand our position here. But just understand this. When it doesn't go your way, it ain't going to be my fault. It ain't going to be Realist's fault, Game Trader's fault, Spark 117's fault. It ain't going to be Resident Gamer Zero's fault. It ain't going to be Xbox brand fault. I'm telling y'all straight up. And look, it hits you, it hits you. If the shoe fits, wear it. If you was one of these people who felt like you had to buy a PlayStation to fit in, and you bought a PlayStation, and you yourself don't use it, it sits over there and collects dust, you are part of the problem. I don't buy things. Listen, I have bought this Logitech G Cloud handheld. When I bought it, Realist laughed at me, man. You sure is a cloud fanatic? Yup. But I knew something better was coming than that. I knew, but I just wanted it for the sake that I finally saw a device was using the cloud. He knew it. But when that ROG Ally hit, I've seen realists be excited about things, but y'all don't know. I've never seen a person or him that excited when he found out he can have a handheld and it would not be bombarded by Wi-Fi, where he knew he could take it anywhere he wanted to go. We lived to see that day. He was so excited that he didn't even want me to be left out. So because he did that for me, I told myself there's going to be something better. And I was waiting for the Xbox handheld. And I said, I owe it to Realist to make sure I get it day one. And I did. Because these damn devices are not cheap. They're not cheap. Nobody's playing. The Claw is not a cheap handheld. You look at Valve and all the money they're making, they come out with that cheap ass Steam Deck. And you got the PC community over here trying to parade it. But I thought y'all preached and taught frame rate power and all this stuff. And the handheld doesn't even apply to y'all's master race. It failed your master race Bible. Failed it horribly. And here we are with handhelds that are just murdering the Steam Deck. Murdering it. And then the weak gamer comes out and says, well, I ain't paying that much for it. But wait a minute. You don't float no paper boat. You don't fill no hole that's leaking. Matter of fact, you're not even on the scale of importance for anybody to care that you're not going to buy something because you're at the bottom. You're just something to laugh at. All the ones out here that are putting in the work, that are working hard or saving up, putting in the interest, that's true gamer. That's what a true gamer does. Guys out here cutting extra yards or getting another job to just put some money back to make sure they get something that they know is going to be worth it in gaming. That's the true gamer. I don't listen to the one who sits up here and tells me something too is expensive. I don't listen to that person because I seen that man drop and have about 4 or 5 handhelds. When I was looking at Boomstick, I got mine. Look how Boomstick presented itself. That's what gamers do. He didn't just get that handheld. He had to get that controller. He had his boxes all stood up. And when you saw Paris demonstrate it, you see how people put their time in. They go and buy these things. Imagine if people didn't buy these things. Imagine, look, we knocked the PlayStation 5 Pro, right? But salute to that PlayStation fan that bought it. That bought it. Because that one is trying to push things forward. Woe to the inhabitants of the PlayStation 4 fans. I don't even want to listen to you. Woe to the Xbox One fans. I don't listen to you. I don't listen to you. You're not pushing anything forward for this. You're not even trying. You can't tell me you can't save $20 a month, $25 a month, $30 a month. You can't even tell me you can't save 50. I don't want to hear that. You save $50 a month. You got everything you need. Everything you need. It's like I said, in Texas, everything's big, right? And realists will attest for me for this one. I know bums that sit out here on Highway 20 that get $20 a day. Bums, broke, doing nothing, living on a bridge. They can accumulate 20 a day. That's poverty. And if they can beg and get $20 a day, a working man can't save $50 a month. Talos, come on, you think I'm believing in them clowns, bro? They sat up here and persecuted Game Pass because it went up $10. I'm listening to them clowns? Nah. Every real Xbox fan is going to have that next Xbox ready. Some of them probably already do. I got my card on deck. I don't care, day one. Soon as they say pre-order, I'm in. Boom. I'm going to show everybody that I'm ready. I'm already locked in. You think I care that it's the most, that it ain't going to be the most popular? It ain't cheap, bro. I don't care that it is. I'm getting it. You crazy if you think I'm not going to get that. I'm damn sure not going to go buy a PlayStation 5. You crazy? You nuts so if you think I'm going to do something like that. Why would I downgrade my gaming experience? Why would I do such a thing? That's absurd. I'm not buying a Switch 2. I have something better than a Switch 2. I have something that murders a Switch 2. Don't come talking to me about a Mario Brothers game. Don't come talking to me about a Mario Brothers game. I don't want to hear about a Mario Brothers game. Sorry. I don't want to hear about the next Metroid. And guess what? Their fans didn't either. Look at that Metroid game. Look at the numbers. I told everybody. I told Rez, you know what's going to blow up? Another Zelda game. See now PlayStation is where Nintendo, Nintendo's where PlayStation's at now. Now Link and Zelda is going to be the whore now. Now they're stuck. So if they don't make another Zelda game, guess what? Ain't no sales. Mario Kart is their savior. Animal Crossing is their savior. Pokemon is their savior. And notice, the two big saviors, the two big ones, not even theirs. It's not even their IP. But I will give them Mario Kart. They did that. And that's why I said they might get hurt. This Switch 2 might get severely hurt, but Nintendo's not going anywhere because they got those. But guess why? It can hurt them real bad. Guess why? Guess why? Guess why? But why Nintendo right now is on his knees crying? Because keeping that game in a kennel, keeping those games in a kennel, has come back to haunt them. It makes no sense for Animal Crossing to be only on Nintendo. It makes no sense that Pokemon is only on Nintendo. It makes no sense that Mario Kart is only on Nintendo. Those three games should be multi-plat. And Nintendo, you played that fiddle, you beat that drum until you beat that dead horse, and now look at you. You on your knees. Look at you. That's your fault because the games that should have been out there should have been out there. Now look, they're stuck on your platform, and you're scared that that platform could crumble. So you better hope that the United States government cares about Nintendo, or it's going to be a lot of laughing going on. To all y'all that kept telling me, no matter what, they're going to go out and buy it, though. They're going to go out and buy it. All right, they're only going to go out and buy it if that price is low. Like I said, that price go up, look what happened. I don't hear nothing but crickets now. I want to say thanks to the panel, Xbox brand. Hey, Xbox brand, I'm gonna do your welcoming party. Spark 117, Resident Gamer Zero, the realest one, Games Trailers who's not here. Xbox brand is gonna make a commitment to DI-RRec Gaming, to the Mighty Chat Pack. We want to welcome him in. He's gonna want to do his talks on the weekends when he's available. I want to say he's another hard worker. He's another true speaker, and I'm gonna do everything I can to keep his voice heard. We're pushing harder than we ever pushed before. I'm glad that the new banner, you guys liked it. I'm gonna be doing some more stuff as we get into the 25th anniversary. But this is all because of y'all, and this is all because of a new direction, and this is all because I'm energized. So I'm gonna be trying to do at least one show a weekend, whether it fall on a Saturday or on a Sunday. We're gonna try to get his voice heard, and throughout the week, it's us anyway. We'll do whatever we want, but we're putting in that effort. And I just want to say that I appreciate everybody that's been pushing us, that's been saying the most positive things. We hear y'all, the newest people that came, to the new subscribers and all y'all supports, to my boy Taylor in France. It's hard to forget you, man, just by the way you came in here and the way you gave today and represent your flag. Look, the Xbox community is worldwide and it's full of love. Like I told everybody, the Xbox community is second best to when I was a kid in the arcade dungeons. I've never seen a gaming community like this in my life. It's the reason why I adapted myself to Xbox, because of this great community. And we are here. DI-RRec Gaming is literally the spiritual successor of the Xbox chat room of the 360 era. Okay? It is the spiritual successor. And when I see all of y'all coming in here talking, but we know we can't fill y'all up, this is our responsibility to make sure that we say and speak the language that y'all speak. And when we're not upholding y'all, y'all are supposed to let us know, because DI-RRec Gaming is being ran by y'all. It's not being ran by us. So like I told all my adversaries when we were doing this show, when we didn't have a lot of people, when we were just first starting out, I don't care about your hate. It's not your hate that'll destroy DI-RRec Gaming. It's the viewers that feel like DI-RRec Gaming don't need to be here. And all these years later, their truth and their voices have been heard, because DI-RRec Gaming is still here. And we don't value number. We value truth. And so with that, anybody else want to jump in here and end us the show, end our show off, man? I want to say thank y'all to everybody that's always supporting it. If you're a real Xbox fan, make yourself at home. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Smash that like button. Never miss a beat on the ones and twos. when we get up on these stages with these mics, with these invisible mics, man, and we perform, and we want y'all up on the stage with us, backing us up. So we are grateful for every time y'all show up and show out for us, man, because it's y'all we get our energy from. Anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah, I do want to say that we do appreciate everybody coming
Okay,
out
if they
and
are and I don't hear
listening.
them, I'm gonna let them speak and let me know when they're done.
Just watch the bouncing heads, legal.
That's what I'm doing. I saw
Brandon's
Resident
talking.
start speaking. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess not. In the show.
Hey, I think.
It cannot be heard now.
Let me see,
Can you
I
man.
hear me
What's
think
now?
going
Sony
on
needs
here?
to realize they need to stop taking advantage, and they need to focus on bringing
Oh
back
man, let
something
me
about
back
that
out. Let me
makes.
back out, y'all. All right, everybody done?
Yes, sir.
It's all good, Brand. I got you. I got you. Don't worry about it. I just want to say, Brand is basically saying he appreciates us. You know, he wants to be an added asset, and we welcome him. Let me see if I can get him to say something. Okay, go ahead, Brand.
But I did. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. I did want to say thank you to everybody for coming in today and supporting what we're doing. My neighbor has decided that he wants to start mowing, so
you
but
good.
we do appreciate you all coming out and always gaming and doing the hobby that we love so very much. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to keep informed. Listen to what people are saying and seeing the lies that are out there in the community and just dismiss those and start to look for the facts yourselves. We are always going to be around, so if you guys ever want to hit us up for whatever it is that you may have an idea about, please reach out to us. Each one of us are available. But we do appreciate each and every one of you and for what you're doing in the communities that you're in. Continue to game and always have fun.
Yes, sir. And upon that, we out of here, people. Peace.